As you could see in the vertical, one of the verticals was the gaming platform. And now, when I started with XC420, which is now Merit Circle, it was a lot of manual work. I mean, I was spending Sunday nights manually with Python scripts doing payouts for all of these colors, the gamers. It was manual account registrations, so yeah, it was a lot of work. And we were thinking, as soon as we started Merit Circle, sorry, also in the back, please a little bit quiet as we're getting started, thank you. But we were thinking with Merit Circle, we're not going to keep doing this manually because it's way too much work. And even if we grow the team with our vision of having millions of gamers in our community, there's no way we would do all of this manually. And so we got in touch with that agency. And I can say personally, it's been a massive pleasure to be working with them. And whereas we first started to build a gaming platform that was focused on gaming guilds, as in scholars, sorry, on play to earn, throughout a couple of months, it's really transformed into something much, much bigger. And yeah, I think that's it. Without further ado, we'd like to introduce to you Jochen from Debt Agency. And yeah, the floor is yours. Good luck.
Thanks, Marco.
And enjoy it.
Oh, already. That's a good start. I hope I will keep talking in the right thing here, but we'll see how it goes. Like Tommy, I would like to start with a question to you guys to see if there are any people like me in the audience. Whenever I transfer crypto to a new address, I first transfer a very tiny amount, just to see if it works, just to be sure. After that, I do the whole chunk. I saw already someone, yeah, recognizable. So far, so good. Hi, my name is Jochem. I'm part of Debt. I'm a strategist there. And today I want to show you some really cool stuff. Really shortly about Debt. Debt is known as a global agency that makes awesome stuff in the Web 2 environment. But since a few years, I think around 2015, we got more and more involved in Web 3. We got some enthusiastic people in there and started doing more projects that we really love to do. But the fact is that in Web 2, we were really running and sprinting and doing awesome stuff. But then in Web 3, we suddenly had to learn to walk again, which was quite weird. Over the years, we have already done some cool projects like Circle, Algorand, Dequency, Bitfava, and now, of course, Merit Circle. We're getting the hang of it. I can call it maybe a slow run instead of a walk now. But we're really enthusiastic about where the space is heading, and we want to be part of that. We want to become one of the best agencies in the world in Web3. But enough about Debt. We're here to talk about the play and earn industry. So about half a year ago, we got in touch with Merit Circle, as was just described. And back then, the play and earn industry was, well, XE was very known, but it was a niche in a low-wage country. And we all know that we wanted to go to a phase where it's adopted by the mainstream gaming, as was just described already. But before we go to the future and to show you the really cool stuff, I want to take a step back. As you might be able to see, I'm a 90s kid, and I think a lot of people with me here are from the 90s. The 90s was known to me with Mario, SNES, but also the rise of the internet, computers. It was a rough time with a lot of opportunities that I found really cool. To bring up some nostalgia, I think everybody remembers this screen, and especially the sound that came with it. Yeah, I already heard it in the back. I didn't want to play it to you because you would lose your eardrums probably with these speakers here. But I think we can all imagine the nostalgic feel that we got. I still don't understand why it had to be that sound and not like an elevator music or anything. It had to be that sound. But that sound to me was the opening of opportunity, something that really cool opening in your browser. And when I opened my browser, it looked like this. You could almost say that it's kind of retro by now, but back then this was the actual design. And to me it was awesome. But now if I look back at it, I can say it was bad UX, it was bad design. At the end of the 90s, banks said, hey, this is interesting. Maybe we can use it to transfer money online. And in came the hard tokens, at least in the Netherlands. I don't know if that's a global thing, but in the Netherlands you had these hard tokens to be able to transfer money online. My parents hated it. They didn't trust the system. And I, as a young guy, found it really interesting. So what you did, you would go online to your website of the bank, you would get a code, you would fill it in that hard token, that would give a response that you had to fill in the website again, and then you were able to transfer money. I would call that bad UX. It was new, it was cool, but it was a bad user experience. And next to that, I always forgot my hard token to bring it anywhere, so I barely used it. If we look back, I think we can state that the internet back then was quite ugly. It was very much tech-driven. It was very slow, and it was very expensive. I can still hear my mother calling, A, I'm on the phone, don't go on the internet, and B, why is my phone bill so high? But we all know where we are now. The fact that we're standing here, we now have beautiful design. Everything needs to be user-driven. It needs to be fast, faster, and fasted. And instead of expensive, it needs to be accessible to anyone. We've reached that over, well, a couple of decades. If we now look at the crypto space and compare that. When we started working with Marriage Circle, I was already quite known in the whole scene, but not all of our colleagues. So what we did, I see somebody smiling already. Hello Remco, I'm talking about you. Yes. So to test the experience at that moment to someone who is not familiar in the crypto space, we gave him a simple assignment. And the assignment was as follows. Get a wallet, get some crypto, and buy an NFT. I didn't know Remco very long, but his face was purple, and he seemed very angry when he came back to me. I think he tried it a couple of times, but after a while, he just gave up. It was so risky, he didn't understand it, it was so much work. He is a designer, and he expects design to work well, whether that's digital or physical. I think that we can say that the current state of the experience in crypto and NFT in any business, that it is similar to where we were in the internet in the 90s. It was hard to get into. It's very slow and expensive, also depending on the blockchain, of course, that you use. It's still very risky. There are lots of scams out there. The volatility is crazy for people that are new. There are get-rich-quick scams out there. It is risky. And of course, it's monopolized, especially when we look in NFTs that got them big since last year with OpenSea. But luckily, Marriage Circle, of course, focused in of course, focused more in the gaming scene, playing and earning. I like the explanation from playing to earn and play and earn, and really focus on playing to drive that. And how do they do that? Well, I think Tommy already explained it. They invest, build, and guide. They have 4 pillars, which Tommy just went through, which I should have known. But today I want to focus on 2, because together with Debt and Marriage Circle, we have been building the platforms, the marketplace and the gaming platform. And I want to show you what we've done so far, to give you a sneak peek and an understanding of what we're working on. So, let's start with the gaming platform. The gaming platform, in my eyes, should be the home of the gamer, the P&E gamer. Every time he starts, he should go to this platform as a starting point to play any game or to connect with people in the community. So how does this contribute to the 4 pillars, to the whole ecosystem that we have that is Marriage Circle? Well, we think besides being a home, it also needs to be a gateway. It needs to simplify it for people to make it an easy entrance, to lower the threshold to enter that whole scene. And we're trying to do that through accessibility. We're making it easy, we're making it understanding, and we're helping gamers to join the P&E scene. Secondly, it's about growth in gamers. And we're doing that through matchmaking. So I think we have some game developers here. Are there game developers here? No. Yeah, I see it. Oh yeah, yes, we got one. Oh, 2. Less enthusiastic, yet. But it's about matchmaking. So we're entering all these gamers into the P&E scene, but they need to be matched with the right games. And that's what we're also trying to do here. Thirdly, it's about retention. The community you want to get back to, the data you want to see, and the platform that will become your home. To do this, you don't do that from your home, sitting behind your computer and just thinking about stuff. You need to understand what gamers are, what the current scholars are, and where we want to go. So we talked to them. We tested with them, and we tried to understand them. And I want to share a few insights that we got. This one is probably not very surprising. It's a complex and scary system, and being new to crypto can be scary and difficult. Other than that, gamers want to learn. They want to become better at the game they are playing. But besides that, the people that were entering, for instance, a scholarship, they also want to understand crypto. Suddenly they get paid in crypto. What the hell is crypto? How do I handle it? How do I make sure that I not get scammed? And how do I handle volatility? And maybe in the end, become financially independent. So it's broader than just gaming. Gaming is about people. I think we just had a talk from Tommy about guilds, where he really showed us the importance of guild, of playing together. I myself remember when I was younger, I played Diablo 2. After a while, there came out the next Diablo, or the extension kit. I see one person nodding again. But I kept playing the old game, and that was purely because the people that I played with were still playing that game. So the community or feeling that I had was more important than my need to play the newest game. And I think really that brings the fact about people. We want to be together. We want to play together. So we had these insights. What should we do with those? Well, the first part is about scary and crypto being scary. And we thought we need to add confidence and ease by helping people understand. And for instance, in UX, adding recognizable patterns that people know from being on Amazon or any e-commerce platform. Secondly, you want to learn. We're trying to evolve gamers, not only in becoming the best gamer so you can earn a lot and have a lot of fun, but also in handling your crypto in a good way and learning about that. Thirdly, vibrant community. The community of Merit Circle currently lives in Discord, but we are trying to add a lot of functionality that will slowly merge that with the platform, to give them functionality that gives that community feel and bring that to the platform. So, that's a lot of talking about what we have been doing. Now it's time for some actual designs. But before we go there, we focused in the first version on helping scholars go online, becoming a scholar. And next up is really focusing on that mainstream gaming. So we're going from play to earn, play and earn, and really playing, which is the next set. So the focus for now was on scholars, just as a reminder. So imagine you're a scholar. You found Merit Circle somewhere, you thought, hey, this is quite cool. You visited the website, you've created an account, and then you land here. We call this the dashboard. And the dashboard has a couple of states. The first time that you get there, you're new to a platform and you really need to understand what the hell am I looking at. So what we did is we really focused on getting you to a game, because that's what we want. As a scholar, you need to select a game, onboard on that game, and become a scholar to start playing. So we put that in a big banner, and you almost cannot miss the first step that you want to. Then it's about finding the game that suits you. So we built a library where all partners of Merit Circle can display their games. We show some interesting information that help you already choose and deep dive. We show the upcoming games in the future. And when you've said, hey, this might be something for me, you can select the game to further deep dive and see what is this game about. Does this fit me? And we're doing that in a more detailed way. We're adding rich media to see what the gameplay is like. We explain it to you. We explain to you how you can get started, if it's a hard game, what requirements or device it is on, but also the current earning potential. So we want to give you the complete suite. If you're an entry gamer or a really advanced gamer, is this game for you? Once you said, okay, I really want to play this game, I want to become a scholar, there's a big button there to help you with that process. And once you go there, you enter a digital onboarding flow where we ask you a couple of simple questions. So at the start, when you create an account, we don't need to know a lot about you. But when you become a scholar, we want to know more about you. For instance, the wallet. You need to be paid out on your crypto, right? So you can really easily fill in your crypto. You get a check question to make sure that everything goes well. And after that, we asked you for the Discord, so we can add you to the community in Discord. Really simple process compared to how it went before this. And I think a really great upgrade. So imagine you're now a gamer. You've onboarded. You're put on a wait list. If we now go back to the dashboard, it has transformed into a timeline that keeps you up to date on what's happening. At first, that will be mainly about your scholarship. What level of waitlist am I? What is happening? What can I do in the meantime? And at the end, you get the good news that your scholarship has been granted. Then on the left side, we also keep score of your earnings, both to motivate you and give you insight in what's happening. How are you doing as a gamer? How are you performing? If you want to know more about that part, we've dedicated a whole page to it, where you can view everything that's about your earnings. If you have multiple scholarships, you can see them all there. It helps you earn more. And if you need to make any changes, for instance, to your wallet address, you can also do that there. So you're doing quite well in this scene, but you want to become better. And that's the learning part. We created an academy that helps you become a better gamer. We have all kinds of topics that show you what the current meta is, what other people are doing. In the future, we will add more cool videos, Twitch, all that kind of social stuff to help you become the best gamer you want. Besides that, as I explained before, it's about Web3. It's about becoming financially independent. How should you handle your crypto? At the moment, it's quite static, but this information, we can find out what's relevant to you. We will add it to your timeline in the future. We will bring it to you when it's relevant. But there are also other ways to be relevant. And of course, we're talking about gaming, so we thought we should gamify the platform. In the future, we want to create more gamification. Learning should be fun, so that even when you're on a wait list, you can go through a couple of cool levels where you already learn about a game, what are the basics, how do I get started. So when you get to the point that you get a scholarship, you play the game like you've been playing a couple weeks already. To add to that, and last on this presentation about the gaming platform, the leaderboard. We know there are teams in Discord, and you can sort of compare and talk to each other, but we want to bring that community feel to the platform by showing you on a leaderboard how you're comparing. And we can do that on a couple of levels. For instance, you're in a team, then you can see on your team level. But we can also do it geographically in a game or overall earnings. Quite cool, I would say. So, that, in summary, was a sneak peek of the gaming platform. At the very end, I have a surprise that's still about the gaming platform, but first we go to the second part, which is the marketplace. And a sip of water. So, the fourth pillar of Merit Circle, the marketplace, the smoothest gaming-centric NFT exchange that we envision. Sounds good? Let's see if it is for real. So how does it add to this whole Merit Circle ecosystem? Well, we think it's the last missing chain in the value chain. We have game developers. We're partnering, we're investing, we're even incubating. And on the other hand, we're now working towards having gamers on our platforms. But what's missing is the NFTs that you want to play with. And now we're creating a platform where you can get those NFTs. And again, we want to grow in users. And we're doing that, again, through ease of use, making it very easy to buy an NFT. Secondly, we know a marketplace is two-sided. You have the gamers that want to buy, or the speculators. But on the other hand, you have the creators. And the creators are not being serviced quite well on the current marketplaces out there. So we want to facilitate them. And thirdly, it's all about insight. Data, data, data. How can you give the best insights on a marketplace to people to make the right decisions? What's different, just a random hint and project that I'm showing here. What's different here with the gaming platform, that's sort of open field. We are not the only ones doing it, but there's another really large player with 90% of the market share. When you're working on a marketplace, that is the case. You have open seas and you have all these other players that are coming up. So how are we distinguishing from them? Again, I believe the only way to do that is by understanding the people on your platform. So again, we did some extensive research, testing, design sprints with creators and with speculators and with gamers to really understand what they need. So some insights again. It's the same as before, but what was new to me, it's a complex and scary system, yes, but even the most experienced traders said they felt anxiety. And that links into the question that I started out with. I have the feeling that I first have to send a small amount of crypto before I do a bigger chunk to a new address. I get scared when a transaction takes longer than I envisioned. And that's anxiety, and that's something that I don't think we should have in the current state. So, important learning. Missed opportunities are mainly speculators that are following all kinds of projects over all kinds of different market players explain to us that they're missing a lot of opportunities in the sense that you have to be quick to be on a cool collection. You have to whitelist, you have to be there at the right time, and sometimes it takes seconds for a collection to be sold out. So they are doing it now in a very bad way by keeping tabs, for instance, on their agenda, or not keeping tabs at all and then missing their opportunities. When selling an NFT, pricing can be vague. Does anyone know the pricing structure of OpenSea exactly? No. That might be a problem, especially when you're a bigger trader. You have no clue what you're actually earning. And last, scouting is difficult, especially the speculators that want to buy something, an NFT, and later on sell it for more. What data do they need? And they currently think it's lacking in that sense, both on ease of use and on the right data to make that decision. So again, we had more of a creative session. We had all these learnings. How are we going to cope? Well, I think the first one is again easy. Confidence and ease. We applied something that's called just-in-time learning. That for every step that you take throughout the platform, we give you the tools and the knowledge to make that step confidently. If you still don't have enough, we give you the links to learn more about that. So you never have to actually leave the flow while you're on it. I don't know if it's familiar to you, but when I got started, I had like 86 tabs open explaining to me how it worked, what I should do, what wallet I should take, and we want to not have that. Secondly, never missing a beat. We want to connect the creator to the gamer or speculator so that they never miss a beat. It's about creating that connection. It's both interesting for the creator because they need it at launch, but also for the gamer so that they never miss an important moment. Thirdly, transparency. We want to be very transparent about the cost, about what we do. Merit Circle is circular. We want to bring back to the community and want to show with every step that we do, with every transaction that we do, how we do that. And lastly, it's about finding diamonds in the rough. Because scouting can be difficult and we need the right data in an easy and overview to find that diamond in the rough that you're actually looking for. On the other side, we have creators, the game creators, of which we have a few in the room today. One of the things we learned from them is that they need to create the following. Especially now, the success of a project is determined by the following and by your launch. Projects rarely get successful after a bad launch, so you need to really create that, and that can be kind of hard. They want to be in control, especially if, I think everybody can imagine what the collection page on OpenSea looks like. There is very little control to what you can do. You can add some text and a very small picture, and that's about it. That has nothing to do with gaming at all. There's no experience that fits gaming. And thirdly, you have to compete with everything that's on there. It's not aimed at gaming. It's not a total gaming experience. So where are you going to go put your NFTs next to a CryptoPunk? I think that feels weird. So We are focusing now, the marketplace, on being a gaming environment. It should breathe gaming, it should feel like gaming, and it should excite gamers. We want to give creators the customization that they need to bring their control back into the things that they do on the platform, to showcase their games the way they want to. And lastly, it's about creating hype. We want to help you create a connection with the gamer and that you have a successful launch. So, introducing the marketplace, Sphere. That's the name. When you arrive on the marketplace, you notice a few things. It's black and white, it's called Sphere, and immediately it hits you with all kinds of cool colors. The platform is mostly black and white, but with these attractive colors, we want to point you to the things that we think are really important. And besides the homepage, that's the NFT, and that's the game. If we scroll through the dashboard, we see popular connections, but what it's really about, we want to work together with our partners. We want to highlight them. We want to give them the tools that they want to. And already on the homepage, we start doing that by giving them lots of room to showcase. We also have the almost mandatory stuff, knowing what's up, and at the bottom we have an explanation of what's so cool about this marketplace and about Merit Circle. The circular marketplace, the transparent marketplace, the marketplace that is aimed to help you find the rare stuff that you're looking for. Now, let's go to an actual collection page. This is what it looks like. It already looks like quite different than OpenSea, I would say. It already has more of that feeling, that game immersion, that you can feel and excite you as a gamer. But we actually wanted to go one step further than that. We thought that's not enough. So we created an extra promotion page. And this is all in the control of the creator. Here you can do everything you want to create that a feeling that you want to give to gamers. And this is also the page that you can have already before a collection launches. Sometimes a collection launches and then there was no following. This is the page to get your following, to showcase your game and to show us how awesome it is. And it's not just a very simple page that you can fill in some text and add a picture. We want to give you control over how you use that page, what you fill in there, and the way it looks. Really, your game, your page, your landing page. If we then go back to the actual NFTs, you scroll down, and with some nice animation that will feel really smooth, you get to the NFTs. And from this point onward, all color is focused on the NFTs. It's the most important stuff. It's the star of the show, and we want to showcase that. On the left, you have all the filters that you need, but the focus is really on showing those NFTs. Say you've selected one. We get to the NFT detail page, we call it, and again, everything is very black and white, and the star of the show is the NFT. We want you to focus on it, to love it, and to decide if you want to buy it. But of course, there's more than to buying an NFT to help make your decision. So we started adding data and testing what is the right data and what are the levels. And what we tried to do is at the top bar give you the summary that you need if you're less versed or if you're just scrolling around and looking. One of the cool things that we did is we added a rarity score. So you see the little gem there. We have all kinds of gem that you can recognize from in-gaming and added that to the platform that you can see in the blink of an eye if an NFT is rare or not. The rarity is calculated on the attributes. And again, it's all black and white. The only color that we see is on the rarity of that NFT, focusing on what's important about your NFT, highlighting it. If you scroll a bit down, you get the stuff that's, I think, familiar. You get the list of what happened, but we also want to make it more visual, more attractive, more easy to understand. So with a visual graph, we want to show you the history of the NFT. What happened before it, before you're trying to buy it, and at what price was it sold in a more visual and attractive way. Say, this is the gangster squiz emote for you, and you want to buy it. Before you buy it, we want to show you transparency. We want to be very clear on what's happening, what funds or assets go where. And we show this in an attractive way. What happens to a seller? Is there a commission? And are there any royalties? And how does that work? So, okay, I'm a big fan. Let's go for it. You've bought it. Well, that's awesome. One thing that we really wanted to add is to go against that anxiety that people have, that I experience. And we're doing that by giving confirmation. Throughout the platform, if anything that potentially scary happens, we want to give you confirmation of what's happening, that you're sure and confident and able to move forward. And we're doing that with these cool visualizations so that you know exactly what's happening and you have actually no doubt. That was actually the flow. I hope that was exciting to you as it was to me. We showed a couple of subjects, the home, the collections, the NFTs, the data, and the creators. And we really can't wait for other game developers to start filling the marketplace and really building their own pages, because that's the part that really excites me.